Hey folks, imagine you're standing in your backyard, the sun is just starting to dip, and you've got a crowd of friends gathering around a grill that's supposed to be the centerpiece of the evening. You've probably been scrolling through a ton of options, wondering if a built-in gas grill is really worth the space and the cost, or if you'd be better off with something simple like a portable propane unit. I get that hesitation. You don't want to splurge on a grill that ends up gathering dust, and you also don't want to end up with a flimsy piece of metal that can't handle a proper steak night. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The Napoleon built-in 700 series 44-inch natural gas grill is marketed as a high-end addition for serious backyard chefs. It's got a big 44-inch cooking surface, 6 main burners, an infrared rear burner, and even a rotisserie kit. Those sound like the kind of features you'd find on a professional outdoor kitchen, but the question is whether they translate into everyday value for a typical homeowner. Let's break down what that actually means when you fire it up for a weekend barbecue versus a weekday dinner. First off, the size. A 44-inch grill gives you plenty of room to manage multiple items at once. If you're the type who likes to sear a steak, then shift to chicken thighs, and keep a plate of veggies on the side, that width really shines. The layout is split into 3 zones, 3 burners on the left, 3 on the right, and a dedicated infrared burner in the middle that's perfect for high heat searing. In practice, this means you can get a perfect crust on a rib-eye while the rotisserie turns a whole chicken on the opposite side without having to shuffle pans around. For a family of 4 or a small crew of friends, the extra surface area feels less like a luxury and more like a practical tool for juggling different foods. Now, the infrared rear burner. Napoleon calls it infrared, and that usually signals a higher temperature that can lock in juices. In real use, the rear burner sits a few inches away from the main cooking surface, creating a focused hot spot that can reach 700-800 F fairly quickly. If you've ever tried to get a proper sear on a thick cut of meat with a standard gas grill, you know how frustrating it can be to wait for the grill to heat up enough. With this unit, you can blast a steak for the first minute or two, then move it to the standard burners to finish cooking without overcooking the interior. The trade-off, however, is that you need to be comfortable managing that extra heat source. Some users find the infrared zone a bit of a hot spot that can scorch if you're not careful, so it's definitely a feature that rewards a bit of grilling know-how. The rotisserie kit is another point of interest. It's an infrared rotisserie burner, which means the heat comes from both the flame and the radiant infrared element. This combination can give you a really even cook on a whole bird or a pork loin. In practice, the rotisserie runs on the same natural gas line, so you don't have to hook up a separate propane tank. The side effect is that you have to set up the rotisserie spit and motor correctly, a process that takes about 10 minutes the first time. If you're the kind of host who loves to impress with a beautifully roasted chicken, the built-in rotisserie is a genuine time saver and a conversation starter. On the flip side, if you never plan on using a rotisserie, that hardware is essentially dead weight, adding cost without any real benefit. One of the more subtle, but very useful, features is the maintenance-free grids. Napoleon uses a coated stainless steel that resists rust and is designed to be easy to clean. In my experience, the biggest headache with any grill is scrubbing burned-on food after a long session. With these grids, you can scrape off debris with a simple brush and the coating prevents the food from sticking as aggressively as on plain steel. That said, the coating can wear over time if you frequently use metal brushes. Many owners recommend using non-metallic scrubbers to extend the life of the coating, which is a small habit change that pays off in the long run. The Failsafe ignition system is another point Napoleon highlights, a spark igniter that will fire each burner even if one of them misfires. Practically speaking, that means you won't be left with a half-lit grill after you turn the knobs. It's a nice safety net, especially for those who are new to built-in grills and might not be comfortable with manual lighting. It doesn't replace basic safety practices, but it does reduce the chance of a burner failing at the worst moment. Installation is advertised as easy. In reality, a built-in grill requires a proper gas line, a vented area, and usually a professional to hook everything up. If you already have a custom outdoor kitchen layout or